Hello right bags, it's Jade with another grounded video. Help me out, make sure you like the video and go and check out all my other guides for grounded. We're about to hit launch, I'm previewing more stuff today. Today we're going to be talking about food, smoothies, what you're going to need to survive. So there's a few crafting stations you're going to need to make. The roasting spit is probably going to be the first one. 4 pebbles, 4 sprigs and 3 dry grass. Once you've placed it, you can go ahead and cook a bunch of different meats. You can cook grub meat, you can cook weevil, you can cook nut meat and aphid. It doesn't take long, a few seconds for it rotating on your cooking spit and you will have some cooked meat. The reason you're going to be doing this instead of just eating mushrooms is it makes your food stay up longer. So it'll also usually give you more food, and so it's better to prepare and cook some of this stuff. Next, we've got the drying rack. Now, the drying rack does pretty much the same thing, except the food will never spoil. No matter how you cook it, food always spoils eventually. But when you've made it through the drying rack, it never spoils, so you can keep a nice big surplus somewhere. The only problem with food on the drying rack is that it will make your thirst go down a little bit quicker. It also takes quite a lot longer to cook and prepare, so it's definitely something to have on the go while you're also making sure you've got other ways to eat. Taking a look at it and you can see it's got the fuller buff and obviously it's going to fill your food up. Simple. Both the spit and roast and the jerky rack can hold up to 3 pieces of food at any one time and they'll be nicely roasted. Of course, the main food you'll be eating until you get this stuff is mushrooms. They're simple and easy to find, and you can even grow your own when you get the mushroom maker. Next up, we got the smoothie station. To make this smoothie station, you're going to need an acorn top, 4 sprigs and 5 grub goop. Now you can put pretty much any 3 items of natural substance inside the smoothie station and it will give you a smoothie. It will replenish your food and it will give you a little bit of a healing buff. But there are special recipes and ingredients that you can use to make all different types of smoothies that give you better buffs. Here's the list and I'm going to show you what you need to make them. Green Machine, Gastro Goo, Fuzz on the Rocks, Boost Juice, Hedge Lord, Liquid Gills and Liquid Rage. I don't think you need to learn these recipes or find them, instead just mucking around and trying out the different ingredients. When you find the right one, it will memorise it and you'll be able to make it whenever you want. The first one I'm going to show you is Green Machine. You need some plant fibre, some sprig and a clover leaf. Pretty simple. Green Machine not only fills up your first bar, but it will also give you a buff called Hyper Stamina. And this means that whenever you do anything like fighting creatures or running around, your stamina will go back to full bar super quick. Your best bet is to use this when fighting creatures, as you can quickly run out of stamina while fighting bugs, and so it's nice and quick if it goes all the way up to the top if you've had one of these. You saw my stamina bar going up fairly slowly. Now let's drink the Green Machine and see how quickly it goes up now. You should notice now that when I stop punching, it goes up a lot quicker. Next up we got Liquid Rage, and for this one you are going to need an ant mandible, a spider fang and a larvae spike. Now that's pretty hard to get hold of. The spider fang you can only get hold from a spider wolf. The lava spikes are pretty easy from the lava ants, and the ant mandibles you'll get from the ant soldiers. Liquid Rage is going to replenish your food bar, it's also going to heal you up, and more importantly it's going to give you extra attack damage against creatures. Next up is Gastro Goo. You're going to need a piece of honey for this. You're also going to need a gas sac that you get from a stink bug. Now the honey I've not found in the demo legit, I had to cheat that in, but it is going to be there I think in the early access launch. You'll also need a piece of fungal growth which you can get from infected weevils or infected mites in the toxic areas. Now the main reason you want to make this one is because it gives you a buff against them toxic areas. You'll be able to explore without having a gas mask on. Obviously it heals you up as well and it will replenish your liquid bar. Next up is Hedge Lord, which you're going to need 3 pieces of berry chunks. Now berry chunks are poisonous. If you try eating them they will do you damage, so it's not a good idea. But when you make them in a smoothie they do give you a good benefit, they make Hedge Lord. You'll find the berries all the way to the east of the map in the hedge areas. Now Hedge Lords are really good because they fill your food and your liquid bar up. They also make sure that you don't need to eat as often, and they also have the moist buff, which I've discovered means that you don't have to drink as often either. So that's going to be a pretty decent one to start your day with so that you can go off on adventures. Next up is Fuzz on the rocks, and for this one you're going to need a pebble, some Might Fuzz and Bee Fuzz. Now like I said, the Bee Fuzz technically isn't in the demo that I was playing, but I'm pretty sure it will be there in early access or very soon. But yeah, Fuzz on the rocks, simply make that. It heals you, it's drinkable, and it's also going to increase your maximum health, so definitely really good if you're going to be going fighting lots of bugs. Then we've got boost juice, which you're going to need a mushroom piece, you're also going to need a aphid piece of meat, and you are going to need some acorn bits. The best place to get acorn bits is by the tree. You don't always find them on the floor or even when you actually attack a acorn piece. Sometimes there won't be any inside, it's all just a bit random. But if you keep exploring and go deeper close across the tree, you should hopefully find a few bits and you will eventually find an acorn that has some inside. Boost juice is going to replenish your food bar, it heals you, and it's going to give you max stamina. So again, it's going to be a lot slower to drain your stamina. Just to be clear why that's different from hyper stamina is how quickly your stamina replenishes or goes back up, whereas increasing your max stamina just means you'll actually be able to run longer. There's only one smoothie I can't show you today, and that is the liquid gills, as it requires something that we can't get hold of just yet, which was eelgrass strands. But for that you also need some plant fibre and some clover leaf, and I'm pretty sure it means you'll be able to swim underwater for longer. But that's not it, there's plenty of other food also that's going to be in the game, or stuff that you can eat that helps you. 2 acorn bits and 1 piece of honey and you can make yourself a granola bar. You can go ahead and eat acorn pieces on their own and they'll still fill up your food bar. Honeydew is probably going to be the easiest. You'll find it all over the place. It's usually secreted by a lot of the creatures and the ants will try and grab it as well. It's drinkable, it heals you, and it will replenish your food bar. Ant eggs are also edible, so they'll replenish your food and they'll heal you too. You can also find nectar pieces underneath some of the flowers, particularly the roses, and these will also replenish your food or your water. Not there yet, but looking likely to come soon, is apple bits as well as cookie bits and hot dog bits. Looking likely they'll replenish your food. You can find mint chunks in the box, but you do need a level 2 hammer to get at it, and in the future it does look like we're also going to be able to eat cricket meat as well as tadpole meat, with the tadpole meat also giving you the benefit of replenishing your liquid bar as well as your food. As I said earlier, pretty much all roasted meats are going to replenish your food and mean that you don't have to eat as long, so you can go much longer in between eating. Jerky doesn't give you any sort of buff for lasting food, but it does mean it doesn't spoil, and it does also mean though you're going to need maybe a little bit of extra water with it. You can eat all of these meats raw, but it usually will make you take a little bit of damage. And of course you can use the dew collector to collect water over time. You'll find lots of dew drops hanging from the grass, and you'll find juice drops near some of the cartons that you find in the world as well. All of them items will obviously replenish your liquid bar. There may be more recipes coming, I'm not too sure, but from the demo, from the preview that we got, that is all of the foods, all of the stuff you need to survive. I hope this has helped you out, I hope it prepares you for Grounded, coming out 28th July, Xbox Games Pass and PC in early access. Make sure you've got me on Notification Squad for the best in survival games, guides, tutorials and news, and I'll see you ratbags later.